Hello everyone, all ready to do another recording for you from my workshop stroke shared stroke, I suppose it's become a bit of a studio now, and put a little whiteboard up behind me just to give a bit of thing. Obviously put a few things like baits I use, a couple of the stuff like angling anxiety, ounces I use, and a couple of local firms, because I thought obviously people who can't make stuff will need to get to stuff. Also a couple of bits about mental health. First video, what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to do a little bit of a review of ND bite alarms with all the necessary bits for it. So obviously this is a personal point of view, but I'll just say how I've been getting on with it. So I'm going to open a little presentation pack I got. So essentially this little pack you have, it's a three rod bite alarm set there. As you can see, the alarms are quite small, diddy. In fact, just turn one on. Nice little tone. Just so these come with, clip that. Come with a receiver and obviously the necessary aerial, which can be folded down so it's out of the way sort of thing. Switch on, get your receivers on there. So the thing about these ones, obviously no batteries required, fully rechargeable, and same as the receiver is rechargeable. I've used these for basically 4 sessions now. Let's just see what sort of battery life I've got on them. And they've still got, so that's 4 sessions. So one was a 24-hour and the other 2 were like, one was 9 hours, the other was 8 and 8. They've still got about 70% charge in them, so I'm probably still going to get another 4 or 5 sessions out of them. So obviously got a good battery life. Along with this set, obviously you can buy additional things, like I've bought what they call a bivy alarm, which you can turn on, and that links up with the receiver as well. Quite handy at night, making sure your gear is not stolen. Also have a bivy light. Nice little feature of this, obviously once you've set it all up and linked up, which one did I turn on? When the Bluetooth's turned on and these turned on, so let's just go through this little cycle there. So goes off to the colour that shows. These obviously you've got to set these up. These all set up through the connection. So I'll turn this one on now so you can just see. So that was green for that one. This one, this alarm here is red. Comes up red. Last one. This one I think I've got set to blue. Comes up blue. Nice little feature, I think. What I've seen a few people do, if you're on a lake where you have 2 rods out at night, you can attach this to the middle on your rod pod, and then obviously when you go out to your rod you can see which one it is. Easier selection. Also have attached with that, you can have the headlight and a little wristband which all link in together. Just turn that on again. See if I've got. So the wristband comes on. So again, try and do it so that when you get a bite, there you see it just changes colour. You get, it buzzes a little bit, so you got a little bit of a sensation on your wrist. So they all tie in together essentially, and you can also, now if this is on, excuse me because I'm not turning everything on, I should have turned everything on really, be a little bit more sensible with it all, which is obviously the headlight, which again which you can turn on and off by this. So press your little button on there. So at night, obviously, if that buzzer's got a bite, just hit the button on that. Headlight automatically comes on. You can set this to the colours as well, but I haven't bothered with that because I like a natural light. So obviously, rather than have that on light. So they all link up together, which is a nice little link up system. Got the T10 bobbins as well. So a little bit of a new direction themed at the moment for some reason. Don't know why, I just like the system. So new direction bobbin swingers, nice and simple, can extend up, so it just fits underneath your alarm like that on the bits. Just up, so it's got a backdrop on it as well. You've got a good range of movement. On eBay, you can buy little bits that fit on here, in between here. They're like little rubber spacers, but you can get illuminated ones, so at night they can be illuminated. Because there's no way of illuminating these. So that's the new direction night set I'm using at the moment. Also, my missus treated me to the new direction bivvy table. Comes in here, got a charger in it. This is magnetic, so when you're out and about at night, connect your alarms up, such forth, they're getting low. 4 bars of charge, and that will charge it up plugged on there. Or if you've got an iPad, you've got a little iPad tray there. So by your bed, obviously a cup holder in that. Handy little bivvy table, not bad price. I'm not going to do price on there because obviously people can search about and look about for bits and bobs. So they're just a few of the little. That's just like a basic review of the first few bits and bobs I got, which is new direction. Obviously, I'll cover other bits in a minute. So we move on to the next section. All right, I'll speak to you in a little while. Actually, before I go, just one little thing. I've heard some people criticise the loudness and that of these bite alarms, saying, "Oh, they're not loud enough." Let's face it, you're by your lake. You should be watching your rods anyway. You shouldn't you? Apart from night fishing, you might have got some kit, but it's quieter at night, so you can have your bite alarm, so you'll be able to hear it anyway. But during the day, you'll be sitting there, you'll be watching your rods. Might get distracted a little bit. You've got these bits on. You're not going to miss them. You don't want something that everyone around the lake can hear. But you want something you can hear. It's specifically for you. So people that say, "Oh, they're a little bit quiet," get over it. That's what they are. They're not the most expensive bite alarms in the world, but they're a good standard for what you're paying. Hello again. So next video we're going to cover, a short little video in a second about how to use distant markers, how to set up clip up your line and that to it. So what you're going to need, what I'll do first, I'll cover a little bit about mental health and that. So obviously, and how I am. So at the moment, my mental health is actually not too bad. Work's going well, very busy, over busy. Missus is not great at the moment, but doing what I can there. Getting out fishing, even though it's a bit frustrating at times, it's given me a little purpose, if you know what I mean. So my mental health does go up and down. It's a bit of, not been diagnosed bipolar or anything like that, but it fluctuates. Good days, bad days. Thoughts are always there, negative thoughts. Battle against them every day. Try and give yourself a new focus. Things like that. So the main reason I want to talk about these sort of things is because I know a lot of men won't talk about things like this. They block it up inside, hide it, you know, put on a brave face, as we all do, and just carry on. I tend to do the same thing at work. I'm laughing and joking about trying to make patients feel comfortable. My work colleagues, I'm messing about with them all the time. Underneath, I'm full of anxiety, worried about what everyone thinks about me. I'm conscious of people are talking over there in my mind. Are they talking about me? They're not. 9 times out of 10 they're not. 1 time they might be. But in my mind it's constantly word. This goes on all the time. I'm not the only person who suffers like this. Most of us do. But some of us are very good at hiding it. Some of us are, but to me it's something we all have to deal with. We have to work through and get on with life. Get the help. That's my first thing I'd say to anyone who has any thoughts, any negative thoughts, any concerns or worries. Get help. Help is out there. It's not easy to access. You have to sometimes break your back trying to find it, as they say. A lot of companies now that people work for will have a well-being person, someone to support. It's such a big thing now. Go online. There's always resources online. Health Reminders out there. It's not my favourite thing. I would say I've not had great input for Health Remind, but it's there for other people. It works for some. What works for you might not work for someone else. What don't work for them might work for you. So it's you've got to chop and change. You've got to try different things, different hobbies, different sports. Quick, wait a minute. Different things. Just find something that works for you. There's always something out there. There's never anything. No one can find nothing that works for them. There's always something. My thing has been, I enjoy getting out on my motorbike occasionally. Bit of an old man to say this, but I enjoy playing with Lego. It just distracts your mind. And fishing, love fishing. I used to draw a lot. I'm going to try and get back into that when I'm out on the lake. Take some pens and that with me. See if I can get back into that as well. Help me mind. But just look about people. There's stuff out there. Just got to look for it and find it. And make sure your partner knows it's not their fault. That's an important thing. Because if you're feeling low and down, and it's not their fault, it's just life, make sure they know that, because otherwise it's going to affect their mental health as well and drag them down. Then it's just going to lead to more anxiety within the relationship. Be open with each other. Talk to each other about it. Society is full of people who suffer mental health. You're not alone. You're better off talking about it. There's going to be points in the day when you're going to think life's better off without you, your family's better off without you, but they're not. They need you there. They need you as part of the glue that holds them all together. What you leave behind will affect them for the rest of their life. So if you're thinking about anything like that, go and speak to Samaritan, speak to someone, get help, please. That's what I emphasise on you. So that's enough about mental health. I'm just going to cover a little bit about NHS struggles at the moment. So at the moment, NHS is obviously, we've been under pressure big time for the last year and a bit. We're now after the end of the second wave, we're now experiencing what we would call winter pressures. We're getting a lot of patients through the door with minor ailments and such forth. A lot of patients we're getting who could actually be seen by the GPs. The issue we have at the moment is GPs are still not being accessed as they should be. A lot of GPs are very standoffish at the moment. It's not their problem. It's they're worried about their staff. They're worried about their own health. So these people are now contacting 111 and being advised to come to us. Fair enough. But please, people, think. We are getting to the point we are breaking. The NHS is breaking. We've got no movement in hospitals. Every ward is full. Nurses are under constant pressure. Doctors are under pressure. All the domestics, the house cleaning, porters, everyone's under pressure. We all want to provide the best care. We all want to make sure you're getting better. We want to give you the support you need. But this is getting harder and harder, the amount of numbers that are coming through the door. You need to think about what you're doing, people, before you come in. Think about the pressures we're under. I know you're feeling rubbish, but do you really need to be in accident and emergency? The clue for what we are is in the title, accident and emergency. That's what it's about. Anything else can go to your GP. You can go to your walk-in centres. Probably go to your UTCs. You don't need to be in A&E. So please bear that in mind going forward. A little bit of a whinge there, I apologise. What I'll do next, I'm just going to stop this bit here and I'm going to go on to a bit of basic how to set using distance sticks, how to set a marker out. So what I've got with me, so I've got a couple of pairs of distance sticks, as these ones here a little bit, and these ones. So all you need basically is 2 metal bars. Doesn't have to be designer, doesn't have to be. I was lucky enough I got given these when I bought a lot of fishing gear, cheap. You're going to need a line or a tag. These usually come about 12 feet. which is ideal, because if you haven't got these, don't worry, you can use a 12-foot rod, put it between the 2 points. Hold on, my computer's just gone a bit weird. That's better. Computer went a little bit straight. Well, iPad went a little bit straight, yeah. So these. Next, you need obviously your rods. What I'm going to use for the demonstration, I'm just going to use my spod rod, because obviously it's got the coloured line so you can just see what's going on. So what I'll do is I'll go and set it up now, and I'll show you roughly how to do it. What I'm going to do in another video later on, I'm going to learn how to feature find. I've been kindly, a gentleman, if he's able to make it this Sunday, is going to come down and show me a few bits and bobs how to feature find. His name is Darren Saxby. Some of you might know him. He's known around the angling community. He's kindly said he will try and spend some time with me and improve my fishing, and that he's been a good support. I speak to him a lot on Facebook and that through Messenger. Very good support, very good bloke, genuine bloke. So I'm going to show you what I know now. Once I've done the marker and feature finding aspect of it, I might film some of that, I will then try and show you how to do it. So it's a case of me learning before I can teach you. We'll take it from there, alright? I'll speak to you later. Speak to you in a minute actually when I've set this up, alright? Right, so what I've done, I've just set up in the back garden just to show you roughly how to do it. Hopefully the volume comes across. What I'll do first, I'm going to put the pins out so you can see how we set them out. So essentially you take your 2 pegs, simple as that. If you find a place behind your swim, a nice bit of land, then just push your first one in. As such. Connect your little bit of rope. I think I bought this off eBay for something like £3. It's nothing really, is it? So when you think about the amount of time it's going to save you when you're fishing. So hook your first hook over your first one. Pull it out and then set up your second one. So that's the second one set out. That's essentially what it is. So set them 2 out, that's your 12 foot. Now to set your rod out. So what you've done at this point, you've step back a little bit, you've cast out a few times with your marker rod or a lead on a line, found the sort of area you want to go, or you've seen fish moving in that area. You then cast your rod out into that area, line clipped it, because that's where you want to start putting your rods. So you now set out on here. Clip that on. So this is, you're now at this point. So say this is either your ledger or your spot where you want to cast your rod. So what you're going to do, you're going to hook that around the first one. It's just hook around the back. And then you're going to step back and then just feed it round one to the other, counting the wraps as you go. That's 12 and a half. Just remember what I've set this up. I set this up at 12 wraps last time I was out fishing. So what I'd always say is that's the 12 wraps I've done to there. Now what I would always recommend, just something I've been doing lately, is just to either add another 6 foot or a rod length to that. Because ideally when you're casting out, as you're out there, as you see it, you're then going to lift your rod, which will take that, because obviously you want to stop that splash, the mass splash you get, so you just soften it so you can feel the line down, which I've still let to learn to do. So I'd add another 6 foot, or bring it round to your side. That's what I've done, and that's how you set it. So I'll just show you how it looks on the pegs. So if you look here, so that is basically sitting right behind the peg, all the way around, and it goes up and down. And then it's just a case of wrapping. is actually really easy, and I was surprised how easy it was. So give it a go. It's going to be better for you. You'll be able to get all your rods in a closer proximity of the area you want. You can set your spod rod up and get all your bait in the area. It's going to make your fishing more successful. It's something I'm learning to do, something I think we all fishermen should learn to do. Other aspects I've got to learn, which will come as we do it, and I'll cover them. Okay, so that's about it for this edition. So what I'll do is I'll leave you all now. Have a good week's fishing. Hopefully going to do some videos on Sunday on my next session out. Hopefully I'll get the visitor if he's able to make it, and we'll cover it from there. So, almost forgot. Sorry, I'll come back again. Almost forgot. Obviously when you're re-wrapping up your thing, try and keep the tension on your line so it wraps properly. Okay. If you set your markers out in a decent place, away from foot traffic, just off to the back of the green or something, leave your line up. You can leave them out for the whole duration of your fishing session. That way, if you snag, crack or anything, break a line, you can always reset to what you got, because you've got take a little bit where you write down how many wraps and roughly where you're fishing. So that's a record for you going forward. And it takes 5 minutes. All right, that is it now. I promise. You can all go. See you later.